Hi guys, welcome back to College Dunia MBA channel. So today we have with us another CAT topper, Kishan Agarwal. So let's meet him. So hi Kishan, congratulations on becoming a CAT topper. So how are you feeling after achieving this?
Hi Shivam, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about my CAT journey. So yeah, the journey was very meaningful for me. So I was very happy the day the CAT results came out back in I think late December or early Jan. So yeah, it was a day which I will remember for years.
Yeah, great. So what college are you joining right now?
So I have joined IIM Ahmedabad in the
Okay,
PGP program for 24-26 batch.
okay,
Uh,
that's a
yeah.
great news. That's the best. Yeah. So to start with the interview, so can you tell us about your background?
So I did my graduation from St. Xavier's College, Calcutta in BCom honors. Post that, I cleared my chartered accountancy. After clearing my CA, I joined Indian Oil Organization and Hindustan Unilever and worked there for around 2 years. Post that, I wrote my CAT, and yeah, that is the story.
Okay, so you did a BCom, then you went for chartered accountancy, and then you also have a 2 years of experience. Okay, so after BCom and
Yes.
you went for chartered accountancy. So what led you to pursue MBA? So basically, what were the key factors?
So currently, the job market, the MBA is the need of the hour. We all are very aware of it. So having an MBA is a boost. It gives you a comprehensive view of how work is being done at a managerial level. So it also opens doors to various positions in the job market. So yes, I'll encourage most of my peers who are aspiring to go higher up positions. MBA is one of such aspect which you can look into. So that is the main reason why I started pursuing MBA.
Okay, okay. So according to you, what is the best approach? Being a fresher or getting some years of experience, then proceeding for MBA? Which one is best?
So I'll say it depends again. So if you will see the criteria of selection into top B schools, there is a weightage given to the work but it's not the case like a fresher can't enter into B schools. There are a lot of freshers in my current batch also. So depends upon your preparation. If you are well prepared and you want to sit for CAT in your penultimate or the ultimate year of your graduation, then you can go for it. But yeah, a work of 1 year or 2 year will be also very good because uh, what matters most is the placements, and during the placement it is seen what you bring to the table. So if you have prior work in relevant fields such as finance or be it marketing or sales, so then it adds to your resume while the summer interns. So I'll recommend for from my perspective that if you can have a work it's great, but if you don't have a work so don't be worried, you can still write your MBA.
Okay, okay, great, great. So first of all, I would request you to tell your exact percentile to our viewers.
So I secured 99.61 percentile in my CAT 2023 examination.
Great, great. Congratulations on that. That's a quite high percentile. So after getting 99.61 percentile, so let's talk about the college applications. So from which colleges did you receive an interview call?
Okay, so like I applied for all for most of the B schools, but I sat for interviews in IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Lucknow, Kozhikode, and Indore.
Okay.
So I received the calls from the from these five colleges. I didn't receive IIM Calcutta's call. I think I missed the percentile, 0.5 or 0.6%. I'm not sure. So yeah, these five colleges I sat for the interviews.
Okay, okay. So, were there any colleges also that you were not able to convert, or you were shortlisted even after getting 99.61 percentile?
So I sat for all these five colleges and I converted all these five colleges. So there wasn't any such college in my. So yeah,
Okay, great.
I'm unable to answer that question. Yeah.
Okay, so can we know about your 10th and 12th percentages, as these are also counted in the final admission criteria?
So in class 10th and 12th, I secured 95 percentage across, means the average percentage which is computed. So in 10th and 12th, I had 95 and 95. In graduation also is considered in most B schools. So in graduation, I secured 85.19 percentage in my BCom honors at St. Xavier's, Calcutta. Yeah, so these three percentages are being computed as a composite score for most of the B schools.
Okay, your personal academic score seems very great, but we have many candidates that were not able to score good in academics. But can you tell us about some colleges then that accept admission for MBA program after getting good score in only CAT, and they don't put more weightage to 10th, 12th and graduation academics?
So again, I'll say this same answer. In my current batch, there aren't many people who scored like 90 plus in their 10th, 12th, and high marks in their graduation. Still, they are in this college. So a lot depends upon what you bring available. So if you have a high CAT percentile, the chances of shortlisting is very high. So if you have a low percentage in your 10th and 12th, you can supplement it with your work-ex. So the points you lost in your 10th, 12, it can be with the work-ex which you are bringing to the table. So I'll recommend to the people who have low scores in the 10th and 12th or graduation to focus on other areas. If you have a high CAT percentile, that's great. But if you can supplement it with other areas like the diversity you bring it, if you're a finance background, so you have a finance, like say you have a diversity score. Similarly, work-ex score is also there. So you should not be feeling low if you have a low grad score. Many of us have low grad scores. So that's not a point to worry. You should mainly focus on CAT. And yes, if you can get some work-ex, it will be really great, and you can seriously convert into top schools.
Okay. That was a great advice for the beginners who had this question in mind. So can we ask you about, was this your first attempt, or which attempt was this?
So I wrote paper in 2022, just see where I am standing. So I secured not even 90 percentile. So I just wanted to see how I was standing. And honestly, honest attempt, this was my first honest attempt in 2023. So yeah, that's the case for me.
Okay, so when did you actually start preparing for CAT? We want to know that how much time it takes to prepare for CAT to achieve 99 point something percentile.
So I diligently started preparing CAT. Like for me, I had mathematics as my strong hold. So I started seriously preparing for CAT in August 2023. So August, September, October, and November, so 3.5 months I prepared for CAT. So first 1 and 2 months, like I gave sectionals a lot. So I kept on practicing since the topics were all were of class 10 level. So there was nothing new as such, like a concept. Most of the topics we have already covered in class 10 if you are done your schooling in CBSE or state board also, or ISC board. So for the first 1.5 or 2 months, I kept preparing for sectionals. I gave lots of sectionals, and in the last 1.5 months, I gave full length mocks. So for me, I'll suggest like a person who is good in mathematics, especially engineering background or even finance background, who is good in mathematics. So you have to target one of the section very well. So for me, it was mathematics. It will also help you to boost your score to a 99.5 plus. So you have to find one section. For many people, they have VARC as their strong section. So the marks scored in VARC, it gives you a boost to your overall CAT percentile. But for me, it was quantitative aptitude. So yeah, that helped me a lot. So I focused heavily on quantitative aptitude to boost my marks.
Okay, so you had good concept clarity in aptitude, or we can say it maths, and you did a lot of practice and attempted mocks first sectional, and then you went for full mock test. Okay, so
Yes.
Just to clear a question which many of candidates have, how much practice is needed? Like, can you quantify it?
So there was a study room. In quantitative aptitude, I solved around 8,000 questions.
Okay.
So that was solved in points. In LRD, I'll say I'll solve roughly around 500 to 750 cases, 500 600 cases. I'll say case sets. In VARC, I read newspaper, and that was the first thing I did every day in the morning. And I used to give 4 RCs at a stretch every day, since there are 4 reading comprehensions that appear in a CAT paper. So I had the habit of solving 4 RCs in a single sitting. So that's what I did in those 3.5 minutes.
Okay, that's quite a lot of questions. So as we know that practice is the key to success, and you showed that consistency and hard work can lead you to 99 point something percentile. So let's move to section wise. So as you talked about, you did 4 RCs every day in VARC. So we heard that reading newspaper and all can significantly increase your score in CAT. So how do you react on that?
There are a lot of sources. First of all, for example, let's start with VARC. So for me, I read newspapers. I had this habit of reading newspapers before also. So like I diligently read, especially the business columns, the editorial columns. Regarding word power, there is a book, Word Power Made Easy. So I'll recommend that book to people who want to have a good hold on words and build their vocabulary. Regarding reading comprehensions, I'll suggest, since the topics asked are quite diverse, so have a habit of solving RCs online. Since the newspaper I read was offline in a paper-based mode, so when you give exams or you read text on a screen, there is a difference in the reading speed, the comfort which you have while doing on a pen and paper mode. So that's why I'll suggest people to give RC's test a day or an alternate day on a computer screen. So instead of solving on books, I'll recommend to, if they can do it online on the laptops or computer systems, desktops, I'll recommend to do that, because reading online is the key. At the end of the day, you have to give exams on your computer screen. So that reading habit on a screen is very crucial. You have to develop in the preparation period. Yeah, so that's what I'll recommend for VARC. And again, you have to strategize things. So there are 4 RCs and 8 VA questions. You have to, that 40 minutes, you have to split in such a way that you can't leave either of the sections, because you can't, even dream of doing that. So you have to attempt both. Now, how you have to split that 40 minutes, 25 minutes, 15 minutes, or 28 minutes and 12 minutes, even a 1 minute is a crucial thing here. So in that mock phase, I used to develop this habit that, okay, I have to do it in 27 minutes or 28 minutes. I have to devote at least 12 or 13 minutes to VA section. Because if you will see the question paper pattern, the VA mostly comes theta questions, which are non-negative. So you have nothing to lose there. Even if your answer is wrong, you will not be losing. So you can't leave VA sections. Most people, what they do is, in those 40 minutes, they come majority of the time in RC section and hardly 5 or 6 minutes for VA section. So they end up their VA marks. So I'll not recommend that. So you have to strategize according to your capability and your interest also. Sometimes some people find VA very interesting, so they attempt VA part first, then they move to RCs. Or some people do 2 or 3 RCs, then move to VA, then again back to RCs. So you have to strategize it according to your strengths and weaknesses, what area you want to first target. And likewise, you have to mentally prepare yourself before attempting the VARC section, that okay, this is the way I am going to attempt my VARC section.
Great. That was a quite detailed insight about the time management in the VARC section. So can we also have a similar strategy for DLIR?
This topic we have discussed with many of my batchmates here. So even the 100 percentiler, they admit that LRDI is the most unpredictable section in entire CAT. It is a make or break section. So during as I said, like I used to solve a lot of case sets in LRDI. So one thing I noticed while giving all India mocks, that to clear the sectional cutoff, at least one set should be right. So we have 4 sets in LRDI. Out of the 4, you have to do 1 set at least for clearing the sectional cutoff. So this is a trend I have also seen in the past papers. So in those 40 minutes, you have to first find 1 set which you can so every set has 5 questions each. So you have to find out the set which you can crack, and all those 5 questions should be correct. So by doing this, you will be rest assured that your sectional cutoff is cleared. So I'm not recommending that do only 1 set, but I am recommending to find the 1 set at least to have a comfort zone. Okay, I'll not be worried about LRDI. I have cleared sectionals. So there are cases where you have high VA, high quants, but low LRDI. Still you get like 99.5, 99.6. But if you don't clear sectional in LRDI, most of the B schools convert you. Not even they will shortlist you.
Right.
So you have to clear sectional LRDI. So the first thing I'll advise is clear sectional LRDI. Do 1 set. So this thing I have seen in past papers. The CAT, whichever institute prepares the CAT paper, drafts the CAT paper, they give 1 set which is doable. So in every slot, you will find 1 set is doable. The key is you have to find that 1 set. Don't waste time. If you are not able to solve a LRDI set, don't take it to your ego like, okay, I have to do it, I'm brilliant, I'm this and X, Y, Z. But I have to, be humble, find that set, solve it. So you are in a comfort zone. So let's say in the first 20-25 minutes, it takes you to find that one set. For me, it was that case. It took me 25 odd minutes to, find that set which I can solve. So when I solved that, a kind of peace, you have a mental peace. Okay, I have cleared my sectionals. Now let's move to higher up. So average out, a set of LRDI can fetch you around 90 percentile of marks. This is the average which I can say in the past so many years. After that, in my attempt in 2023 attempt, if anyone has done 2 sets complete, they would have got 99 plus percentile in LRDI. So just imagine the level of difficulty which I'm talking about. So first try to do 1 set and always try to do the 2nd set, and if time permits, try to do the 3rd set also. It's hardly I have seen anyone who have done all the 4 sets. Yes, there are people who have done all the 4 sets, but I'll recommend target should be at least 1. But don't mess it up. Like, in order to attempt to do all the 4 sets, you don't even clear the sectional cutoff. So that's what I'll recommend LRDI.
Very good recommendation. So you basically recommend to clear at least the sectional cutoff by finding the 1 set which is doable, and then only proceed to next sets. So that was great.
Yes.
It seems that you have done a lot of practice on mock tests. That's so many insights. Yeah. So yes. Overall in all of the 3 sections, what was the toughest topic that you found for yourself, and how did you conquer it?
So again, I will be going back. For me, the toughest section was LRDI.
Okay.
For the first 25 minutes, so we have 40 minutes. For the first 25 minutes, I solved 0 questions. I was like, oh God, my attempt is gone. I'm gone. So all these thoughts propped in my head. This propped for around 5 seconds. Then I something came into my mind. I don't know. In the next 7-8 minutes, I solved 1 entire set. So till 35 minutes, I was already done with 1 set. In the last 5 minutes, I had something to do in my mind. So I had already prepared. So there are theta questions again in LRDA also. In theta questions, you don't have any negative marks. So I'll recommend the aspirants, whoever are writing the CAT, don't leave any theta questions. Even if you don't know, put 0, 1, 2, 3, anything. So even if by any chance 1 question is right, there is a huge jump in your percentile. You have nothing to lose there, but you have something to gain. So theta questions never to be left, be it VARC, be it LRDA, or be it quants. So in those last 5 minutes, I ensured in 1 minute that I'll write all the answers at 1 or 2. But that is also educational guess. Like if I can see there are 3 options only, so I'll like 0 or 1 or 2 or anything, any sort of that number. For the 2nd set, like I solved almost to the end, and I found like there are 2 possible cases for this set. So I use a trick. So this I'll suggest you, everyone actually.
Yeah.
So if you are ended up in 2 cases, like this set can be solved in case A or by case B. So what I did was I solved 2 questions using the case A method and 3 questions using case B method. So what will happen? Either of the cases will be right. So I was confident that in 2 cases में कोई एक case होगा. So what I have to lose? If 3 questions are right, 2 are wrong. So +9 minus 2, that is +7. If 2 questions are right and 3 are wrong, +6 minus 3, that is +3. So this is the method I used. Instead of getting a 0, I was getting at least 3 marks. And in my best case scenario, I will get +7 marks. So that is what happened to my examination. My 8 questions were correct when LRDI, the results were out. So I did, the case B was right. So 3 out of 3 was right, 2 were wrong. So 1 was theta, I think. So I ended up in around 22-23 marks in LRDI. So this is a way when you can cope up when the questions are not in your favor, not in a zone. So you can use this kind of tricks to just sail your boat through, because at the end it matters how many questions you have done correctly, and every question counts. So don't leave theta marks. And if you are ending in 2 cases less, as in my case, so you can use this kind of strategies in LRDI.
Yeah, great tips and tricks. So there is a high probability that you will get positive marks. You just need to practice in mocks and apply all your approaches and prepare for the final exam, right?
Yes.
So according to the CAT pattern that we have seen through the years, so it is not compulsory to attempt all questions. So many people do like they leave some difficult topics and just prepare for most asked topics. So I want to know your take on it. So how did you do it?
Okay, so like by definition, what is a difficult topic for me might be an easy topic for you.
Right.
So first thing is in difficulty, there is in VARC maybe some words are difficult, you are not able to recall or you're not able to understand the meaning. So that is a difficulty in VARC. In LRDI as such, sometimes the cases are very long. Even to read those cases, you take 10 minutes. So that is the difficult thing for LRDI. In quantitative aptitude, people find sometimes probability, permutations, combinations, number system or geometry to be difficult. Now I will say like for English and LRDI, we can understand like, okay, this is difficult. It has to be left out. For quants, I'll say like for the difficult topic, say geometry. In our attempt, a question came on geometry and it was being able to solve in 30 seconds. So a person who left geometry, he lost 3 marks and also that 3 marks in 30 seconds, which could have been solved. Right. So I'll say if some topic is hard for you, at least try to cover the concepts so that in case in exam, the question comes from that topic and that too is very easy. You will not be able to lose marks. You can have that because every mark is important. In higher up, so in percentile, I'll say every mark, like for example, I got an overall of 87 marks in my scaled score. So a person with one question extra, say 90 marks, jump in percentile is 0.1 percentile, means like 99.71, it's going up. So every question matters. So you can't afford to leave any topic if you're aiming for a high percentile. That's what I'll advise.
Correct. So that's a tip that only a topper can give. So our audience is very lucky to have you on our platform. So now let's move to your preparation phase. So did you join any coaching classes or did you rely on self-study?
I relied on self-study, but yes, I took a lot of mocks and sectionals. So I joined the test series of numerous institutes. Since I had a strong background in mathematics, so I was able to do with the courses. So I did self-study for the 3.5 months.
Okay, so you took mock tests.
Yes.
So as you didn't went for any coaching classes, so can you recommend any books or resources that you followed during your preparation?
So as such books, I'll say I didn't follow much because I have heard there are a lot of resources available offline. But people who want to start with a bookcase of thing, I'll suggest that if you are good in mathematics, try to see what the exam asks you. So there is there is no such syllabus which CAT provides or IIM CAT gives. But there is a pattern that okay, these chapters are there in quants, these chapters topics are being asked in LRDI. So using those topics chapters, you can open your school books as well. Like for example, at the end there are concepts. So maintain a notes book kind of a thing. As you do sectionals, you will encounter with new concepts. So if you have a background in mathematics, if you're done class 10, 12 mathematics, I think for those people, there is not requirement of a new book or something, a resource. You can directly start with the sectionals and you can develop your learnings as the time goes through, as you give more and more sectionals. I'm not saying mocks, I'm saying sectionals. So this is what helped me actually, because I revised my class. I opened my class 10 and 12 books. For example, progressions. I read the concepts, then I attempted sectionals. There are topics or some concepts which are new. I wrote it down. So this is how I built my learnings. For people who are not good in, who didn't had mathematics in their 10, 12, I'll recommend them there are plenty of resources available. So you can take any of the book and you can build your concepts, then give sectionals to build upon your learnings and then give your marks.
Right. So what happens generally is that people who are preparing for CAT go online and search on YouTube like platforms, and every other person is recommending other books from Arihant or some other publications. So people study for 5 days from this book and 5 days from this YouTube channel. And so what would you advise to these aspirants?
So referring to YouTube channel is also good, because for example, I will share with you, in algebra there was a topic, Descartes' rule of signs. So this how the number of positive roots, negative roots, complex roots in a given polynomial, how to find it. So either you can find the number of either you find the factors of the polynomial and find the roots, which is a long lengthy process, or you can use the Descartes rule of signs. So I remember one sectional where it was just mentioned Descartes rule of signs. Now ideally what should I have done? I should have googled it or something like that, but I, instead of googling it, I entered in YouTube, and to my surprise I found a beautiful video of 5 to 7 minutes which explained me in and out of about Descartes rule of signs. So yes, YouTube is a great source. There are plenty of content creators. You can find it. So whatever topics you are stuck in, you can just type those topics name and search on YouTube. So yeah, it helps actually, YouTube resources.
Yeah, great insights. So as you said that you had great concepts in mathematics and aptitude, so you didn't require a lot of revision. You just practice through sectionals and mock tests. So for our audience, let's talk about the revision strategy. So did you have any revision strategy that may have worked for you?
Yes. So for revision in VARC, we need to revise the words. So when you are giving sectionals or mocks, you will encounter some words which are new to you, euphoria or different kind of words which are repeatedly being used in CAT previous year papers, or CAT loves to give those words in their RCs. In LRDI revision as such, there are some concepts like in games and tournaments, you have some concepts, you can have those notes in your pages, you can write it down, jot it down. In quants, you can prepare chapter wise topics, chapter wise notes. So like it's a one pager, two pager, like all the formulas, all the concepts, like tricks which you have developed while solving sectionals. So for me in quant, like it was a 30 to 40 page total notes which I had. And in English, in VARC, sorry, it was around 15-20 pages. In LRDI, it was hardly 5 to 10 pages, because in LRDI, there is not such any concepts or formulas. You have to just practice and go with the flow. So those 50 to 60 pages in my last 1.5 months, I had a habit to read it every day. So try to be as precise and as to the point as possible, because you can't revise a 500 pages book every day. You have to cut it short. So that efficiency increased when you read it with lesser number of pages, but the material should be very rich. So if I, for example, for me in quants, I can say, if I have prepared a geometrica notes, so it was a 4 or 5 pages notes, but it has everything related to geometry. I don't have to refer it back to a book to find any formula or any concept. So I used to revise that note like 50, 60, 70 times. So like I could visualize the entire notes in front of me. Like if I want to close my eyes, I can visualize what is written there. So that is what, if you can reach it to that level, it is great. Like, at the end, your concept and formulas should be very strong while giving the CAT paper. So revise. Maths, that's what I can say.
So I was saying that these were great insights about the examination and the complete strategy for all the sections. So now let's have a small discussion about the interviews also. So can you share some of your interview experiences with us?
So as I've said before, I got shortlisted from 5 top IIMs. So my first interview was with IIM Ahmedabad only. It was in the first week of February. So I was very nervous, of course. It was my first interview for MBA, and that too IIM Ahmedabad. So most of us have the dream of getting into the IIM Ahmedabad college. So I took center as Ahmedabad only for my interview. I just wanted to explore the campus. It was an opportunity to explore, so I chose Ahmedabad. So there is a AWT process for Ahmedabad. So before the personal interview, there is a analytical writing test. So they give you a kind of a passage or a story, a one-page story, and you have to write your thoughts about it. So this is something which was very interesting for me. So you get around 10 to 15 minutes to write it down. So that is also evaluated. Post that, you go into a panel. You have assigned a panel. It's panel 1, 2, 3, 4. So each panel has 2 professors, sometimes 3 also. So I was serial number 1 in my panel. So I went first. I was lucky that time, because if you wait for your turn to get in more anxious, more nervous you become, because each interview lasts for around 30-40 minutes. So if you're a fifth person, so you have to wait for 150 odd minutes.
Right.
So I was lucky actually. I got the serial number 1. So I went to my interview panel, and the questions were very normal, very technical, I'll say. So it was from my domains. I was lucky enough to able to answer it, and it was also based on my as how am I as a person. So not only technical questions, they also ask you about your personality. They want to know you. So at the end, what I learned was from Ahmedabad, or be it any other B school interviews, that ultimately the interviewers are professors. So they want to hire people who actually they will love to they will love you being there in their class. So you should be able to contribute. That's why they ask you technical questions, and your personality should also be as such that you can meet the standards of the institute you're being interviewed at. So be yourself, be humble, be confident also. And yes, if you are a engineer or you are a chartered accountant like me, you should be strong in your background, because if I am selecting a chartered accountant, so I expect that he is good in finance. He should be aware about financial topics, and he should contribute to the finance class. He can bring from his experience. So yes, you should be very and at the same time you should be humble also, because especially at Ahmedabad there are people from diverse backgrounds. So if you are good in finance, then somebody else will be good in operations, somebody else is good in psychology. So at the same time you should be very humble. That's what I am saying. So it's a mix of all these things you should keep in mind, and you should have a smile in your face, of course. There may be times when you feel like the interview is going south, it's not going in your way. So you want to feel like, okay, oh god, I just screwed my interview, I should have said this. Okay, no worries, not all answers are correct. Not like, even for me, I think around 8 out of 10 questions I said correctly, 2 I skipped. So it's not important again like CAT to solve all the questions. Just as an interview, there can be questions which you will not be able to solve, or which you will not be able to interpret. So it's okay. You should be confident in whatever you are saying. They will try to cross question you. Like if you say 2 + 2 = 4, they'll be asking like, are you sure it's 4? Isn't it 3? So 2 + 2 = 4 is correct, but they will try to cross question just to see how confident you are in your answers. So that is also what happens in interviews. Otherwise, my interviews were good. IIM Bangalore interviews was quite technical and a bit exhaustive also. It lasted for 45-50 minutes. So yeah, apart from that, all other interviews were good, and it was amazing. Actually, importantly, I'll say I learned a lot from the interviews. So these are the common things which I faced in all the interviews.
Great experience. Seems like you have a lot of experience to share with us. So we'll also have a detailed videos about all your strategies about interviews. So we have almost covered all the topics. So do you have any tips or guidance that you want to give to our audience?
Okay, so to all the aspirants who are going to write the CAT papers in 2024 and the future years, I'll just advise you, don't be distracted from the crowd. There can be, so even I am 99.61, I have a person sitting next to me is 100 percentiler. So don't be distracted from a crowd. Realize your strengths. Your strength is your strength. No one can find it for you. You have to find it yourself. Stay humble. Follow your routine diligently. And yes, practice is the only key. So yes, best of luck. I want to convey you, and if I can do it, anyone can do it, frankly speaking. So that's what I'll say.
Great, true. So to conclude, we would say that these were great insights, and I'm sure that our audience will find them insightful and will love them. So we would like to thank you for that, and I would say a very, very congratulations for joining IIM Ahmedabad, and all the best for your new life there. And
thank you, Shiva.
Thank you. And for audience, I would like to say that subscribe our College Dunia MBA YouTube channel for more such videos and stay connected. Thank you.